found this simple classic skirt in my closet, it's time for a makeover. I'll show you what I did to it. Coming up. Hey, Chanel here, bringing you weekly videos to help you get better and better with your fashion sewing and be more creative too. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. So 'tis the season when we're cleaning out closets. The weather's changing. I found this in my closet. Actually, I've always known it's been there because it was one of my favorites. It actually did get pushed to the back of the closet for a while. And I tried it on and I can't believe I was that skinny. I actually even had taken this in. I had looked at the alteration on it. And it's like I took it all in the sides. Couldn't believe it. Oh my gosh. So that made me feel, not, well, I was gonna say better, but maybe not. So yeah, no. So this was a skirt that I bought through, I used to rep the Doncaster line. It's based out of North Carolina. I sold it when I was in Los Angeles, and for 17 years, and I had clients like buying these beautiful pieces. So this skirt came with this jacket, so it was a set, and I used to wear it a lot. And I haven't tried on this jacket, and I'm a little afraid to, because what are you gonna? I don't know. Maybe I should upcycle this too. I don't know. It's an idea. Didn't think of that. What would I do to it? That's another video. But this skirt, I was gonna do a video all on letting the waists out, and there's a lot of darts in here. This fabric has stretch to it. Wow. And it has a lot of darts. I think there's 8 darts. And in each dart, if they don't cut them, you can see it right here, this is about probably 3/4 to an inch on each one. So I really have to let the waist out. And I'm gonna cut the lining out. First I gotta make it fit, and then I'm gonna show you my idea. Which is, it's a pretty simple idea, right? Let it all out to make sure it fits first. That's it. And now if it doesn't, then I have to get a creative way, probably put black stripes down the sides, because I tend to do that a lot. You can always see me in town with stripes down the side seams. That means old piece doesn't fit anymore, and I changed it. Or not necessarily old piece, but maybe sometimes you find something in the store and you're like, I gotta have it, and they don't have your size. So if you can upcycle stuff, sweet. But who knows, I might be able to wear it with this jacket again. Although I never really wear jackets anymore. I'll show you my idea. This was a skirt I started last spring. I'm calling it the Susanna, Salsa Susanna, something like that. And it's just a simple skirt. I'm going to do no darts and put that at rollover elastic that I like so much, and cut it at an angle and then have a ruffle down it. So I have my pattern being drafted, and I started this about 8 months ago and haven't finished it. So have a muslin of it, which is called a toile, and right here, and tried it on and put in my changes. Need to change the ruffle a little bit, things like that. So I have that going already. Then when I found this skirt in my closet, I was like, all I gotta do is get it to fit, and then angle it, and then add the ruffle. And then I have my own Susanna salsa skirt. There you go. Now, then I had gone to Atlanta to the fine fabric stores, which I did a video on. It's huge, the hugest fabric store I've ever seen in my life. And they had all these beautiful silks, like a whole aisle of them for $9.99 a yard. Oh my God. So I found some. Actually, this brown is, I don't know where I got this from, but I've had it for a while. This is a silk chiffon. It's nice and thin. It's not an exact match of this. Actually, look in there, it's really not. But when you do the ruffle and then you put it behind black, right here. I'm gonna do like a black, I'm gonna do a 2-layer, a black underneath, the brown on top. And my black that I have here is, I'm gonna do a burn test on this to make sure it's real silk, but it looks like a double-faced Georgette. It's got a little satin to it, and makes me feel good that I didn't spend the usual, this fabric's usually about $25 a yard. It's a 20 to 25 a yard, and didn't spend the usual price on that, so I only got $9.99, so I don't feel so bad if I mess this up. Anyway, so I'm gonna do the ruffle with the black and then the brown over it. The white is here because I bought it for something else, but my favorite combination, I have 2 favorite combinations. It's black, brown, and white. Right, these right here. And I was kind of thinking I might put a white layer underneath the black so that it really just shows under here when you're walking. So it won't really show, but it shows in the movement with the white. I'm gonna do the black and the brown first and then see about it, because I don't want to cut up this white. You know, we treasure our fabric, and and this is also the same fabric. I bought this for another print that I had, a black and white print, but it's another double-faced Georgette. It's beautiful. You should feel this. It's like, oh, it feels so good. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to first start to see if I can get that skirt to fit right. I'm going to take all those darts out and stuff. It's a lot of seam ripping. I'm just going to pop those seams out and see how it fits, and totally cut out the lining. Don't need it. And this has stretch to it. So never needed. Well, actually it did need the lining, but look at the stretch on that. I don't want it to fit like a sausage, but I want it to fit. So I'm going to start with that. Then, if I get that, I'm going to cut out the ruffle, and I'll show you my progress. Woohoo! Got this all taken apart. Look at all, I had so many darts in here. Got these all taken out, didn't leave any holes, but I think I had one little glitch, yes. So I had one little tough part here that I, kind of damaged the fabric here, so I put a interlocked fusible interfacing on it to kind of patch it up a little bit. I think it did the job, yes. So I put the seam allowance to its original part because I had taken it in, and got it all back to the original, and I closed up the zipper, got all that closed up, and closed up the pleat right here, just put a seam down it. So now I just have a straight piece of fabric, straight skirt, and I took out the hem. I took out, that was actually, I hemmed that myself, and boy, I did a good job. I couldn't get it out. So, all just nothing but a straight piece now. And then I drew on where I think I want my ruffle, if you can see it. And it's this way. I don't know which way is center, back, or side seam. I don't know. Yes, there's my marks. So I think I'm going to put my ruffle going straight down, so sideways, and then the ruffle. Now what I have to do is get my pattern drafted for the ruffle and cut it out of muslin, put it on there, and try it before I go cutting this. And I could just pin it on before I cut this. So make sure, because what if it's like I want it down longer, 1 more inch, then it's too late. So I'm going to do that next, and then I'm going to chop into my beautiful silks. Got my pattern drafted for my ruffle, made it into a muslin, and pinned it on my skirt right here to see how it draped. And then I tried it on, and it looks really great. Nice and flouncy. It ended up, my pattern ended up being like a half circle right here. I put it in Pellon so that it's easy because I have to cut it on chiffon. I also got my first layer of chiffon cut out, and I'm going to pin. Usually I do a French seam on here, but sometimes the French seams can control this side seam too much. So I'm just going to do a simple little stitch down and then press it open, like probably pink it right here. I'm using little silk pins, so that is the first ruffle. And then I'm going to be putting it behind this. I got to cut this one out and put the brown behind the black, and then the white. I'm gonna do the white. So 3 layers. My next step on here is to make the whole ruffle, hem all of it. That's gonna be the hardest part. I gotta hem like a roll hem. Sometimes with these chiffons, I like to just press it and do 1 stitch up and then trim it real close instead of the other roll. So I might just do that. Probably won't fray too much, I don't know. But it goes quicker. It gets, yeah, because otherwise you like press it, you know, do a roll hem. You press it up, stitch it, trim it real close, roll it again. And then it makes like a heavier hem, which actually sometimes is better because it gets that lettuce look, you know, like the crispy look like that. So I'm just gonna start with that, the first layer one, and see how it looks and then do that. So now I gotta create that whole ruffle. Oh boy, be right back. Okay, so I thought I'd show you how I'm gonna be stitching this. I've decided to use not just a straight stitch, but actually this stitch here, number 22. It just kind of has like a little swirl on it. And I did a test run on this fabric here, the scrap, and it turned out really nice. This was actually after I pressed it because it puckers a little bit, but then you press it, it goes down really flat. So it just really looks nice. It just has like a simple little stitch there. And then I went in, I trimmed it with some pelican shears here. This is before, I don't know if you can see all this, but this is before it's trimmed. And then I trim it, and then it just blends right in there. So I won't have to do a double lettuce roll hem on here anyway. So I'm gonna, so I press this first. Press it, get a really strong crease, and I just press it about 1/2 inch, and then I let the fabric do it, you know, because it's so much off grain as it's going in a circle. I just kind of have to let it, you know, do its thing. Pressed it, got a strong crease, and now I'm just gonna follow the presser foot right here. My edge is gonna be right on that part right there, and I'm just gonna take it slow and steady, and just go around it. Make sure my bobbin is full. This is a weird stitch. It stitches like it's actually, the length is actually at 1.0. I didn't even know it went that low, but so it's like a real tiny, which will really help this not fray. Should look pretty good. Have my pattern all ready to cut out. I've got it pinned right here. Got a few more pins. I laid out my fabric, got it all the cross grain torn right. Got this all on grain. Anchored in my grain line here. Started pinning all this pattern down. Got to get it really accurate on the grain line so that the beautiful drape happens. And this is the middle layer, so I think I'm ready to cut. Then I'm going to take these anchor pins out here. And then gonna cut. Here we go. This fabric slippery, doesn't want to cut. Okay. I'm on my way. On to the last layer. This one's a bit easier because I can see through the fabric to get all this lined up and get my grain line exactly on the grain. I think I have that going up the length grain, yes. So I have it all anchored, I have it pinned, and now I just have to cut the third ruffle out. It'll be a lot of ruffle. Got all 3 layers done. Actually have all, well, they're not done, but I have it hemmed. I have the stitch on here, and I got to use the pelican shears and go over all these layers and trim it. And that's before I press it, because it's easier to trim when it's kind of bubbly instead of like flat down on there. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take them at home and trim them at home while I'm watching TV. I have to pay attention and really make sure there's a lot of light. So that's how the ruffles are gonna look. I did the white in there Now I just hope that they're balanced. I really didn't want the white to show until it moved, although it's kind of impossible, but right like this, I think I can see too much of the white, but it's also, I just gotta get these all basted up right at the same spot and get it figured out. All right, I'll let you know the progress on this one. Might be a little while. Well, I'm back. It took a while. 3 layers of hemming, all cut. The little pelican shears. The top stitch I used was actually kind of cute. It was a little, that one I showed you with the little curve on it, it kind of gave it a cute little scallopy hem in some parts, not in all of them, but this was quite the bear. So you see all the white fuller than the other part here. The white, it's a georgette, but I mean, the black and the white are heavier fabrics than the brown chiffon, so they were pooling more at the bias areas when, you know, when it curls around. The more bias it was, it stretched more. So I also had a chance to let it hang out for a day or so. But so I pulled them up. My goal was to have the white not show, but it shows in a couple little spots right there. And I just like laid it out as a circle with the white up, and then just kind of raised that up to counteract it. So, oh my gosh, this was so frustrating. So the hard part's over. 3 rows of, oh my gosh, can't believe I did this anyway. But it's gonna be pretty, I can't wait. So now I'm gonna cut my skirt. I have my skirt all ready to cut here. I have my cut line on there. And yeah, I think I'll just cut it. Or I wonder if I should lay it on there first, try it on, and then cut it. I might do that. And then I'll show you how I'm gonna cut it, and then I just gotta add the elastic to the top and press out these darts that I got all taken out and made it bigger. So it's actually pretty close to being done. All right, I think I'm gonna lay it on there first, and then, nah, I'm just gonna cut it. Anyway, let's get to it. A little tiger skirt, I call this. With the brown is a little different, but it works, you know? And this is when you walk, it has the white flouncing in it, so your legs move it, and then the white flounces, just like a little peak of white. And I think I've got most of the layers pretty even. I have one little spot right here, and I think what I'm going to do there is maybe steam the black so that it covers it. I was really trying to tweak this thing, and saw different shapes of bias and different fabrics. They tend to, when they're hanging on the bias, they'll either stretch a little more than another type. So that's why you get that. You're like, I know I cut that straight. So, but there is the skirt. Another tiger skirt done. And then I think I'm going to get a picture of it with me in it, and I'll show you that. Here is my tiger skirt. It now has some fun to it. I think I can go do some salsa dancing in this one. When you wear it, you want to walk like this. So that would be weird. So, but I got my little white poking through underneath. A little angle, a little fun to my skirt. So if you have any straight skirts in your closet, chop it up. Make it into a salsa skirt. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see ya next time.